Hello, everybody, and welcome back to M&J Games. I am Michael, and before I introduce this coaster spotlight today, I'm really excited to be joined by none other than Plipcam. How are you doing today, Plip?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, this looks amazing. Never seen it before, and can't wait to check it out with you today.
This is called the Torma coaster, and it looks to me like it's inspired by Taron. And it's created by uppercase X, uppercase X, to the legend underscore, and then 3XX. And I've spotlighted a creation by this creator before. So the link will be in the description below, as well as a link to Plipcam's channel. So make sure to go subscribe. It says, "Hi, thanks for checking out my coaster. Theming is medieval, and the ride itself has 2 launches on Taron at Fantasialand. It took me a lot of time to create this coaster for daytime. It's best you ride at 1 p.m., nighttime 2 a.m. Best for you to ride the coaster is front seat, but take seat 2, not seat 1 for best experience." I just realized now I didn't really do the exact timing, so I apologize with that ahead of time. But yeah, what are your thoughts so far as we now kind of get into Plipcam mode to walk around?
Well, as I say, I've never seen it before, but I can really tell there's a really good scale to it all. And as we dive down, it looks so big from the aerial view. And standing out to me, that probably we might not be able to see from Plipcam, is just the fire effects in the chimneys and everything. That's so cool, the different kind of vibrancy of the fire that you've got going on in there.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I honestly didn't notice that part looking around. We do kind of do an aerial view at the end once we kind of look around, but yeah, definitely. When I had this recommended to me by the creator, I was like, man, how did I overlook this in the workshop? Because this is pretty crazy. So really detailed.
You can definitely tell, like, even the custom, I think to the right hand side there, all those maybe adventure temple pieces, just making custom walls. And I love how it's all falling to bits, and you can really tell that it's been constructed at the moment for the theme of this ride, and I love that.
Yeah, and I actually lied a second ago. We're actually not in Plipcam mode. I was just trying to make it seem like we're in Plipcam mode.
Well, you've done a good job of it.
Yeah, just because I know sometimes Plipcam mode gets annoying in certain aspects. Yeah, I mean, just the different little terrain elevations is really nice. I love this little kind of garden right here with the flowers kind of going around. Really nice touch. And custom supports. Look at that.
Yeah, wow. Really nice touches. And it's, as you say, the little variations in terrain. It's so interesting to see that there's such slanted paths. I bet you have to have quite strong ankles for that one. But yeah, really like how it's so natural as well, and you don't have, it's all blending into the terrain. It's not necessarily with all the supports of the paths all around. So yeah, really good job.
Now, to be honest, I felt kind of dumb after I started filming some of this, because right now I remember I was like, where in the world is the entrance to this ride? And now I realize I just tried like twice. So.
Well, it was really good to see that bit around there.
Yeah, I mean, that view is really cool, kind of looking up there at the, looking at all those extra pieces being used. And now as we're walking up the exit, I eventually do find my way to the entrance, but I was having some trouble with it. But man, just the amount of time it must have taken to place all those individual beams is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you just did a Zelexor from Channel 5 Gaming, always going to the exit. But as we fly around just there, I mean, looking at the aerial view, I think it really sells it. Usually it's nice to get down on peep level, but just seeing the sheer scale of the architecture that you've used, it's actually quite nice to see it up so high. But the entrance on the left, I think, we've gone past it again, Michael. What are you doing?
So yeah, and then finally I was like, oh, here's the path.
There we are.
Oh, it's not one of my brighter moments, but it's
well,
really
you can
cool.
tell it's an immersive experience if you're lost in the theming and not thinking about where the queue is. So you can really tell there's so many things to look at, and I guess that's why you got distracted.
Yes, for sure. But now looking back at the footage, I'm like, man, what was I doing? But no, what do you think of this queue?
Yeah, it's really nice. I think, are they poles or windows or something, or maybe the flat roof pieces that you've used, those segments, just to prop up those lights just there. Really nice. And then how you've got the numbers for the cattle pen station bit, and yeah, really nice use of also those texture pieces on the left. They're really nice pieces to use. They're so nice, especially because they're not actually flat. They do have a bit of texture to them, so that you can really get a bit of grunginess to your builds. Just look at this. I mean, all of the different near misses, and I mean, I've just seen a little bit of clipping with the train, but I guess that's, it's so difficult to get things moving about, and all the head choppers as well. That's quite spectacular. And I mean, all of those different pieces. You could probably argue that some people might say it's easy to place down all of those beams, but really, I imagine to get the shaping, that'd be a real difficult job to do, to get it all blending around just there. And it's so smooth, it seems, even though of course they're rough pieces. It just really blends nicely.
Yeah, I like how it goes in and out of it, and that's one of the coolest things, like with the Taron part, is having the look of dual kind of levels of the launches. And so forth. So that's a pretty cool thing, in my opinion, to kind of see that aspect of it as we kind of go around and look at the coaster. All right, Plip, so we just got off the coaster, and what are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, I think it interacts with the scenery so nicely, like the S-bends that going through all the different towers, and you've got special effects going on the fire, as you can see just there at the top. I think that's amazing. I don't even know how they've done it with the effects to make it like red and blue also. So yeah, really good effects there. And also, as you can see, just zooming around, it gets so close, and like the head choppers all around, you can see just here the gates and the bell. You're going to knock your head on the bell. I really love it. And all the adventure pieces to construct it are just done so well.
Yeah, totally agree. I think the layout of this is really awesome, and just how, like you said, all the near miss moments just really add to it. Because if you were to not have, like, if you take the Taron coaster or this one and you didn't have the scenery around it that exists, it would be like, they wouldn't be the extreme of coasters, right? And they're not extreme coasters. It's more about the you're kind of like dug out in this pit, and all the head chopper moments and just all the theming around it is really, really impressive. So now, as we wrap up the video, I want to thank you so much, Plip, for joining the channel.
Thank you very much for having me. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and so guys, make sure to hit the like button on this video and go to Plipcam's channel to give him a subscribe, and hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, Plip.